You are about to discover the number one secret to slashing your taxes in half. Yes, slashing your taxes up to 50%, legally, of course, and immediately. But first, just how big are your taxes? Do you know how much you're paying in taxes? Because most people don't. Here's where you can get a good idea. How about if we ask what your largest expenses are in your household budget? When you sit down at the kitchen table once or twice a week or once or twice a month to pay your bills, what are the biggest ones? Well, for most people, rent and mortgage kind of ranks up there as one of the top ones. Car payments and gas certainly is one of the biggies. Healthcare costs, that's one of the largest ones for a lot of people. And meals and groceries, that's a real large one. That tends to be in the top four. But you know what? Are you ready for a shock? It's none of those. Your biggest expense is taxes. Taxes are costing you more than your living expenses, transportation, healthcare, and groceries combined. All of those combined is still a number lower than what you're paying in taxes. Taxes are literally bleeding you to death. The good news, though, is you can do something to slow down the bleeding. You can't stop it, but you sure can slow it down, and you can do it starting right now. The number one secret to slashing your taxes in half is to run a part-time business from your home, doing something you love. No kidding, a home-based business is the key to slashing your taxes in half. That's because the biggest tax breaks in America go to home business owners, bar none. There is no other category of taxpayer in America that gets more tax breaks than home-based business owners do. Who am I and how do I know that's true? I'm Dr. Ron Mueller, author of the bestseller, Home Business Tax Savings Made Easy. The more you know, the less you owe. A lot of people talk about special tax deductions for home business owners, but nobody ever seems to have any specifics. I couldn't find anything in bookstores, even online. So 10 years ago, as an investigative reporter, I spent a full year investigating home business tax deductions. And you know what? What I discovered totally surprised me. I discovered, first of all, that dozens of huge tax deductions had been approved by Congress specifically to encourage the growth of the home-based business industry. Now, I thought I was going to find out that any home business tax deductions were some quirk of the law or some clever lawyer finding a way to apply a tax break to home business owners, but that's not what I found. I found that Congress passed tax breaks specifically to encourage the growth of this industry. Why'd they do that? It's good for the economy. Second thing I learned was tax breaks are so big that almost anyone can slash your taxes by a minimum of $3,000 a year. That's a bare minimum. For most, the total tax savings are between $4,000 and $6,000 every year. Why so much? It's enough to cover all the costs of running your home-based business. You see, when Congress passed these tax breaks, they wanted to do it to encourage you to start and run a home-based business, and the way to do that was to give you enough tax deductions to put enough cash in your pocket to run that business. So the third thing I learned then was the amount of the savings, $4,000 to $6,000 a year, equals the amount of new tax refunds. So if you're going to be paying $4,000 to $6,000 less per year in taxes, that means your refund is going to increase by $4,000 to $6,000 a year. Then I learned something really interesting. Taxpayers do not need to wait until April 15th to get your hands on this new additional tax refund. Why? Because you can't wait until next April to pay the cost of running your business. You have month-to-month expenses, and you can't put them off until next April to pay them. So Congress put their money where their mouth was. They said that if they want to encourage you to have a home-based business, they're going to have to let you collect the money on a month-to-month basis, not wait till the end of the year. Finally, number 5, which really ties into what we just talked about, is 1/12 of your refund can be collected every month. So if you take a $6,000 refund, that turns into about $500 per month in refund. Why? Again, it's to cover the cost of your month-to-month costs of running your business. $500 a month cash, extra cash in your pocket, instead of waiting until the end of the year and getting $6,000 when it's too late to cover the cost of running your business. Home business tax refunds are good for the economy. We just talked about that. They're big enough to cover the cost to run your business, and they're refunded when you need the money every single month. But the question is, can you qualify? Well, what do you need to do to qualify? There are 3 requirements, as all Congress put on us to qualify. The first one is to work your business as little as 3 hours a week. They want you to work your business on a regular and consistent basis, minimum 3 hours a week. Requirement number 2, have the intent to make a profit. The key word there is intent. You do not need to make a profit before you qualify. Simply be working towards making a profit and you qualify. for the home business tax deductions. Number 3, keep decent records. That's it. That's it. Can you do those 3 things? Can you qualify? Can you work your business, or are you already working a business 3 hours or more a week with the intent to make a profit and keeping decent records? Well, congratulations. That means you can now give yourself a $500 per month pay raise. Yes, running a home-based business is the number one secret to slashing your taxes by thousands. And the secret to putting hundreds of dollars extra cash in your pocket month after month after month. And by the way, that's just the tax savings alone. That doesn't even include the money you're going to make in the business itself. If you do not have a home-based business, you are overpaying Uncle Sam by some $500 a month. That's about more than $100 every single week. Last week, you paid Uncle Sam an extra $100. You're doing the same thing this week, and you'll pay him over $100 excess taxes again next week, as long as you don't do anything about it. But we're going to change that. Isn't it time you stop bleeding to death from taxes? If you already have a home-based business, or as soon as you begin one, you'll want to know exactly what these huge tax deductions are, right? Well, I'm going to make that really easy for you. As you now know, the top 6 home business tax deductions will likely put about $5,000 extra cash in your pocket. Now, I'm rounding off that $4,000 to $6,000 range. Now, some people would call that amount of money a meaningful amount. Some would call it life changes. Some people might call it insurance from foreclosure. Other people might even call it a miracle. But you know what I call it? I call it a great start. Thank you, and I look forward to helping you slash your taxes to the bare minimum, to the legal minimum.